Hey folks, I'm Rupali, your host, and welcome to my channel Crime Hack. Continuing with our story, Mystery of the Catacombish Tunnels, we saw Akash get ambushed and beaten mercilessly in episode 1. I would be publishing a new episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so mark your calendars and let's dive right in. Nayak Brothers and the Mystery of the Catacombish Tunnels by Rupali Rajabadhe Roti, Part 2. After dinner, Raj and Sandy were sprawled on the sofa watching TV when Raj's phone rang. Hey Dev, what's up? Raj listened for a moment, then asked, What do you mean he's gone missing? Sandy became alert, obviously curious. So Raj put his cell phone on the speaker mode and said, It's Dev. He says Akash has vanished after his TT practice. Ha! Don't tell me he's with a girl, Sandy jibed, and Raj shot him a dirty look. If he's with a girl, Dave's angry voice crackled over the speaker, I'm gonna kill that pest. He's not even taking my call, and mom is. He paused, then whispered, and mom is pecking at my brains to go find him. Dave was known for his mischievous and carefree attitude, but today he sounded troubled, and Sandy realized that the matter was serious. Called his friends yet? He asked with concern. Yeah, Dave replied, but no one I know knows where he is. Dave, I'm sure there must be a silly reason why he's not answering his phone, Raj consoled. Just tell your parents not to worry, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Dave sounded exasperated. Tomorrow I have this journal submission, and now I will have to leave all that and go shouting his name on the streets. You didn't submit your journal yet? Raj shot back in disbelief while Sandy teased. There comes the real reason behind your trouble. Now, please, don't start, you two, Dave pleaded. Okay. Let's go find him. Dev and Akash Mehta studied at the same college where Raj and Sandy were students. Akash was a table tennis fanatic and went to practice in a sports complex on JM Road. Dev and Raj were chatti buddies. They shared the same bench over the past 10 years through school and college. Dev was also the person who had been through thick and thin with both Raj and Sandy. Despite his tendency to avoid risks, Dev usually watched their backs for them because they had a knack for attracting trouble thanks to their insatiable curiosity. Raj and Sandy still remember the day when Dev had rescued them for the first time, their first adventure when they were just 5 and 6 years old. They had gone to make friends with a litter of cute puppies when they got to know that unlike human beings, their mother didn't entertain any visitors. So when the canine charged at them with bare teeth, they had run, clutching their dear lives in their tiny little hands. Soon they landed in a deep trench dug around a deserted building still under construction. Even though they were lucky that she couldn't reach them, they weren't lucky enough to be able to climb out on their own. They had struggled for 5 long hours trying to pull their tiny little bodies out of the 7-foot deep trench when Dev's chubby face peered down at them from high above. He had seemed like an angel throwing a vine down to them. For many years, they called him their angel friend, but as the years passed, it started sounding stupid, and Sandeep became Sandy while Rajesh became Raj because those names were out of fashion now. In fact, Dev was the person who had first suggested that they take up their new fashionable names. Now 17 years old, tall and lean Sandy had grown to be impulsive, whereas Raj, a year older, was muscular and an inch shorter. Their father, Ratan Nayak, had become an assistant commissioner of police now and had earned his reputation by solving a few mind-boggling cases during his tenure in the police department. The boys had grown up listening to the bedtime stories of their father's exploits and encounters with the criminals, and over the years developed the dream of being private detectives. This dream, coupled with their curiosity, had driven them on various adventures on multiple instances. Sometimes it also landed them in trouble. So even though finding Akash was a small task, the boys were thrilled at something interesting to work on. Raj finalized the details of the rendezvous and hung up. At 11 p.m., Raj and Sandy met Dev at the Gymkhana in Shivajinagar, where Akash played TT. The Gymkhana was deserted. Let's ask the security guard, Raj suggested. It turned out that the security guard had come in at 10 p.m. for his night shift and was sure that everyone had left already. A quick inspection of the gymkhana, its washrooms, and the locker rooms confirmed the fact that no one was there. "Let's take the road to your house and see if we can find anything," Sandy proposed. Dave had come by the same road just now, but he trusted the boys' instincts and so didn't object. They soon mounted their motorbikes, Sandy riding pillion behind Raj, and together they headed for Dave's home. For many years, the Mehtas had lived near the Nayaks, but a few years ago, Dev's family moved to the other side of the town when they purchased a bigger apartment in the up-and-coming posh area of the city. Reaching a deserted stretch, Raj suddenly squeezed on the brakes. Leaning over the handle, he eyed the tar road intently. "What's that dark spot up ahead?" he wondered aloud. Somehow, it didn't look like a grease mark to him. Dave stopped his bike a few meters ahead of them and looked back over his shoulder, while Sandy jumped off to observe the spot. Sandy noticed that the tire marks they had just crossed were fresh as well. "Seems like an accident," he muttered to himself, and then scraped a finger over the dark spot. Fresh blood. But I wonder..." "What?" Raj asked. The tire marks. They precede the blood trail by a very small margin. If the rider was thrown off the bike to bleed on the road, there should be at least 2 feet gap between the tire marks and the blood," he replied. Neither the rider nor the bike was in sight at the moment. Sandy looked around and was drawn by something else by the side of the road. "Hey, come here, both of you. See this?" He pointed at some marks when he froze.